Thoughts on Oxy? Again, I'm looking at forecast and guidance right now. I think a lot of people are looking at oil right now as a very choppy up and down potential play, but it's kind of like what we saw with AMC, right? But with AMC, you can look at guidance based on numbers and based on what you know. Something like a commodity like oil, like I want to tell you, this is why commodity trading is so difficult, especially stuff like oil. Look at oil, right? You always take a bull case and a bear case, right? So you look at a bull case and a bear case on oil right now. What's the bull case on oil? Mideast, right? Or I should say conflict in Israel, Gaza. So this is the bull case right now. The biggest bull case in the short term, right? Biggest bull case right now that this escalates or there's other escalations, especially with Iran. We know that Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Bahrain, Qatar, all of those guys, UAE, are staying the fuck out of this. They're like, yo, listen, unless there's like, we got to get pulled into it, we're staying out of it because we're making money hand over fist and we don't want to get involved unless we have to, right? So that's the biggest bull case for oil right now. Obviously, you still have Russia, Ukraine, but Russia already has the sanctions. They're selling oil cheap on the secondary market to China and India. OPEC Plus, Russia and Saudi Arabia have committed to cuts, so we already priced that in. This is the bull case. But right now, there's actually more bearish case on oil, okay, in the short term. And why is that? Well, number one, okay, excuse me. I need to get, every time I buy a eraser, it just, whatever. Number one, economy, right? But there's three phases to this economy. No, oh shit, I just looked at Dish Network. It's actually mooning. EV adoption is the bear case in 35 years, yes. But we're already realizing that the EV dream is and I'm not against EV, it's just the dream has been kind of realized it's going to be a lot longer than we want it to be, okay? But take a look at this. U.S. economy, right? U.S. economy, strong. GDP, mooning, right? Spending, still mooning, but also consumer debt spending is mooning, right? At some point, something's going to have to change, okay? There's going to be a downside. I'm not saying the market, but the economy, there is going to be a downside at some point. How fast, how deep, how heavy? I don't know. What's going to be the catalyst? I don't know. Is it the housing? Is it commercial real estate? Is it consumer debt bubble? What is it? I don't know. There's going to be a catalyst, right? So, and I don't mean that the entire economy is going to come down. I mean the spending economy, right? Spending is going to have to switch. Right now, people are still going out to restaurants, going on flights. Look at the When We Were Young festival, right? Completely sold out. Vegas was packed, right? Restaurants still making a lot of money. People are spending. But what did we see? At the height of COVID, we saw 2.1 trillion. I'm going to overload you guys with some info, so forgive me for a second. 2.1 trillion in savings during COVID. Guess, anybody want to guess? I posted it, but anybody want to guess how much is there right now? 150 billion. Anybody want to guess what consumer credit is at right now if you take in all debt for consumers? Approximately $4 trillion. Consumer credit card debt alone, just credit card debt, 1 trillion. It doesn't mean we're going to crash. I mean, we can just print more money until our money's fucking worthless. But since the dollar keeps gaining strength against the rest of the fucking currency pairs, and people are like, fuck it, well, we're dollar strong, we're good. We'll just keep importing shit at a discount, and our GDP will go up because we're buying it cheaper and selling it more expensive. Whatever. I'm saying that consumer spending is going to have to get curbed. I'm not saying it's going to crash. It's going to have to get curbed, or it's going to have to change. People are spending all the money on experiences right now. The YOLO spending, I was locked up, I retired early, I work from home, so now I can go on more vacations, I can do more stuff like that, right? All good and great. It's going to have to stop at some point. Everyone has this idea that we'll just keep spending until rates eventually come down. But how long that's going to be, we don't know. Is there going to be people underwater? Is the housing market? I mean, how much of this is tied up in people's belief in the equity of their home that's fake, right? So many people don't realize, and I did a YouTube video about it with price discoverability, so many people don't realize that the equity in their home is not going to last unless they sell it now at the top. Like at some point, it's going to come back down. That's fine because that's how the housing market works over the long term, but if you bought at the top, you're going to be underwater. Credit card spending, a lot of stuff. Student loan payments are back. There's a lot going on. Inflation's still high. Okay. If people stop spending money on travel and experiences and dining out and going and doing all those things, then demand for oil goes down in flights, in cruises, in a lot of different things. Okay. Now, what other bear case do we have? Well, that's the U.S. Let's talk about China. Anybody else read the numbers this morning? I know if you were in the morning call. Oh my God, Dish Network hit 350. I'm not even going to do it. So we're talking to Morning Call about this. China's exports. Remember how China used to be, everything was said made in China? Everything was exported by China. Well, people stopped buying things and they started paying for experiences, something we've talked about for years on this channel, right? We talked about how when you're young especially, stop buying things, spend money on experiences. I did that during games, after GameStop and everything like that. I had a little bit of extra money. I took my family on trips. I didn't buy new cars and new this. I took my family on trips. We had experiences. It was great. But exports in China dropped 6.5% today. They were expected to drop 3.3%. Or was it 6.3, 3.5? Either way. That is a 100% increase or decrease. Well, you can't decrease by 100%. That is a 100% increase in the miss expected on their exports. Just Google the source of electricity around the world. Yo, King Gings, I know you're trying to be cute and all, but if you think I'm saying oil's going away, maybe go check out my YouTube channel. Got a short from a couple weeks ago why it said why oil's here to stay forever and we're not getting rid of it. So, checkmate. All right? I'm talking about a bear case on oil over the next quarter to 6 months to potentially a year. Dumb shit. I'm not talking about oil till in 2050. YouTube plug? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. People in chat saving EV is over regular cars. Stocky got the job. Stocky got the job I wanted. We made it. I got the job we wanted, or you got the job we wanted. And who is we? Good call on Dish. I'm not even looking at Dish. I have Spy, Disney, and Intel up behind the screen. Okay, back to what I was saying. Okay, guys, focus. Exports down significantly. Why is that a big deal? Well, that means that they're not making shit, right? Now, we know that a lot of that is moving offshore to Vietnam. We're already heavily invested in Vietnam and India. The U.S. has more restrictions against China with imports, exports, tariffs. We got the chip ban going on right now, or I should say restrictions. A lot of that stuff's moving to Vietnam and India. And so, if their exports are down, it means two things. Number one, people aren't buying as much shit. And number two, we're seeing that manufacturing go down. If that manufacturing is going down, that means less industrial plants are running. Now, you may think to yourself, 6.5% doesn't sound like a big loss. Do you know how much they make? That's a lot. 6.5. They're one of the biggest importer of oil for industry in the world. So there you go. There's a big dip on oil. Well, where's a trickle down effect from that too? Shipping. And if you think I'm wrong, I could be. Obviously, I'm speculating, but let's take a look at the numbers. Well, if people aren't buying as many things from over the sea, then you don't need as much shipping over the sea. Under the sea. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, we know that Maersk, the giant shipping company, is cutting 10,000 employees. That's a massive drop. They can't demand as much money, so they're not making as much money. If you guys are still in those for the divvies, good luck, especially if they're like over double digits. You're going to get fucked on that. But what do these shipping companies need to transport all that back and forth that they're not doing right now? Oil as well. So if someone put a gun to my head right now and said, Stocky, crude is at $80 a barrel right now. Where is oil going to be a year from now? 60? Unless this escalates or people shift their purchasing and start buying things from China again. Unless there's a war, please refer to the bull case. Now, does that mean I'm shorting oil? No, because I don't fucking know what's going to happen. But everything I'm looking at is telling me unless there's an escalation here or Russia pulls a fucking nuke out, I don't see that massive bull case for oil. I should say 60 or under is what I should say. I don't see outside of somehow Israel doing something really, I mean, they're already doing something, well, I'm not getting into it. Unless they do something that causes other Mideast countries to get involved, or Iran has implications directly involved in this, or if Russia pulls out the nuke card. Other than that, I don't see a case for oil going higher. Sell oil shares? I didn't say that. I'm long on Palestinian parking lots. What? Oh. Boo. 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 No, I'm not going to ban him for a fucking joke. Guys, y'all have to stop that shit. Y'all got to stop this world where if I don't like something somebody says, they got to be banned or they got to disappear, they got to go away. No. Welcome to the real world. It sucks when you don't like something or you think it's bad or it's been poor taste, but you don't just get to fucking ban everybody. I'm in the United States. I'm not in some fucking European communist country. Family stream, literally? Well, how do you think babies are born? This show is real, okay? Babies are born by watching Stocky.